Now, here I am again talking about Smart Ride, an absolute abstract failure. The guy who runs Smart Ride, who's doing these program systems, how much worse can your job get when people die because you're not doing your job right? How much worse can a job get? When people die, old folks try to walk for 2 hours to get out of Orangevale to get to a bus and they die from a heart attack, or they get hit on the side of the road because in Orangevale only 1/3 or 2/3 have sidewalk. The other thirds are nothing. It's either it's a bicycle lane if you're lucky, and half of those turn into nothing but bushes. So literally, I was walking for an hour and a half from Orangevale down Greenback in the street to get to here, because I've been trying to get a Smart Ride, this new system that started today or yesterday. They no longer, it's whatever, it's first come, first serve, but it's 30 minutes to even get anybody. What happened is 11:30 this morning, I started off and I arrived over there at about 1 o'clock at the bank. I went to Walgreens, I went to the post office, now I'm ready to go home back. It's about 2 o'clock, so I called up at 2:15. Can I get a ride? No. 2:15, 2:45, no. 3 o'clock, no. Half an hour wait. Okay, I'll wait till later. 20-minute wait. Okay, I waited 20 minutes. And they said no. And I waited 15 minutes. No. And then I ended up going to the library so I can have a place to sit down. And I have my backup plan was if they don't get me a ride here by at least 4:30, I'm going to have to walk out of Orangevale, out Greenback Avenue, a 70-year-old man walking out on the street to get to the next bus stop, which is in the Metro Center here at Arcadia and Sunrise, or Greenback here in Citrus Heights, because they canceled line number 29. So this has been a complete failure today, and I've had to walk, and I just barely made it here. I have to get back to my place by 6:30 because they closed the gate, and I won't have a place to stay, and I'm homeless and all that stuff. And it's going to be 39 degrees tonight. I could die of exposure tonight if I don't get in those gates by about 6:30. 7 o'clock is when they lock and close up. I got to give myself a little time. So I gave myself a little time, and this is about the last bus that I could have taken. I had to walk to get here. So if I didn't make this last bus, and I've been trying since 2 o'clock this afternoon to get back to Greenback and Auburn. It's all Greenback Avenue. It's all the same avenue. And I couldn't get back for, 5 hours. What a failure is that when people are going to die of exposure because you fucked up. And obviously, I called them. I asked is there a backup plan? Do you have a supervisor or somebody that, what if there's a diabetic that says, I have to get home within 2 hours, otherwise I'll die? They don't have any backup plan. Absolute no backup plan. That is about as stupid as somebody saying, hey, I'm going to run a car race at this racetrack next weekend. I'm going to make a lot of money. But then he doesn't have an ambulance or a doctor on call. There's going to be wrecks. But he's, and so that's what they did on this thing. This whole new plan, the Smart Ride, and there's no backup plan for in case there's a real emergency and somebody's got to get back like me, or a diabetic, or there's no backup plan. There's no supervisor. There's nothing they can do now. That's taken out of the thing. I used that once before in the old plan where a supervisor could actually use his authority to get a truck or get a bus to pick you up and take you there in an emergency, which it was. Thank God. Well, that's gone. So here's what happened. It's Sacramento, in its wisdom, and its idiocy, gets rid of bus line number 29, which goes to about a 3-mile line back and forth. But it's the only bus that serves Orangevale, the only one. And they replaced it with this new thing called Smart Ride, which has been an abstract failure completely. Minimum 2 hours to 3.5 hours each way. So it's 5.5 to up to 6 hours of waiting for your ride. So if you have to go to the store and do a half an hour of shopping, it's going to be 6 hours of waiting for the bus to come and go. And I talked about this on my YouTube account, Still Birdman DMW. On the Smart Ride, on my account, I have eight videos on there, all about what it was like to wait all day long, day after day. how I waited over 26 hours in 4 days. I waited over 26 hours in 4 days for the bus. Smart ride. That's a failure. And so they got rid of bus number 29, and now all the old folks who don't have cars, they can't leave because the bus is gone, and they replace it with Smart Ride, and you can't take a bus that takes 6 hours to wait because you can't stand there unless you're sitting at home in your chair. But if you go to like Walmart, you go to Walgreens, you go to Winco, they don't put benches out front because they want homeless people sitting there. So you have to stand for 6 hours. An old person standing, it's not going to work. So they have abandoned us. Number 29 is gone, giving us the Smart Ride a failure. Now they got this new system, which is an abstract failure so bad tonight. I phoned up 6 times with no less. I had a 10-minute wait, 15-minute wait, 20-minute wait, 21-minute wait, 29-minute wait, and a 31-minute wait. After the 31 minutes, it went to 50 minutes, and then I got an Aussie woman on some kind of pre-recorded thing. Sorry, but the system is broken, and we can't get through it this time, and try back again later. Oh, God. And so that's when I started huffing it. I said, that's it, Since 2 o'clock, I'm just trying to get here. And it didn't work at all. It's completely figured. So, and if anybody dies, if a diabetic dies tonight, or some old man dies in the corner because he couldn't get home, homeless guy, how bad is your job? I mean, how much worse can you be when people die because you don't do your job right? You don't have a backup plan. This Sacramento RT thing from the beginning, the whole thing is based upon one thing. They got to make one thing work no matter what, and it's a failure. On-call rides. Phone up and they'll show up at your door and they'll take you there. It's a failure. It doesn't work. It can't work. The overall thing, it just doesn't work. Because that's all they have. They said, let's just do that. And so buses that can hold 20 people only hold one person at a time. The answer is to go for an hour. Go around the neighborhoods. Pick up people for a half an hour or 45 minutes, deposit them, and then start again. Not this one person at a time thing. That's one problem. The main thing is this call up. Whoever is in charge of this is completely doesn't know what he or she's doing except for one thing. He or she wants to do this call up and we'll show up at your door and we'll drop you off there later. Yeah, 6 hours later. And now you get somewhere. I was lucky to get a ride this morning, except for the fact that now I'm 7 miles from where I have to be. It's late at night. It's cold. The fog's coming in. It's going to rain later. And it's fucked. So here comes my bus driver. I got to go.